Hey, I'm Dukes on Twitch. If you want to support the channel and greensunzenith.com, you can find my Patreon, merch store, and singles store where you can buy singles through TCG Player or Card Hoarder in the video description. If you want to get in contact, you can also find all that info in the description below for things like donation deck lists or just wanting to reach out. Alright, let's get right into it. A huge thank you to my current patrons who support me and keep mid-roll ads off my videos. It's a fantastic feeling to be supported not only by other players, and not only by those within the Eternal or Legacy community, but those who just enjoy Magic content. My content will never be behind a paywall, and these patrons allow that to continue to happen. I love being a member of the Maverick and wider Legacy community, and it's a privilege to have a voice within it. So here's to bigger and better things for the year ahead. Hey, welcome back to Dukes on Twitch. Back today with a new take on Sato-san's Maverick Legends list. This is a donation deck list from patron That Maverick Joe. So a big shout out to them. They're watching with their kids. A big hello to your kids. This deck looks sweet. This deck is a green-white creature-based Maverick / Legends list. So from the last league, cards that really impressed me were, of course, Samwise, especially with Karakas, and then this card as well, Flowering of the White Tree. This is a legendary enchantment with legendary creatures you control get +2/+1 and have ward 1, and then non-legendary creatures you control get +1/+1. This deck is built a little bit more around the taxing effects of things like Esper Sentinel, Thalia, Heretic Cathar, Boromir in the sack effects, but also the whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter it. So this is things like Force of Will, LED Lotus Petal, Fury, which is a big one, Solitude, a lot of cards. So I really like Boromir in this list. One card that I actually haven't seen before is King Darien. This is pretty much a Lord with a little bit of upside, as well as a very similar effect to Boromir's activated ability of giving your other creatures hexproof, and I guess it's creature tokens. But still, another Lord is really cool to have, and potentially a mana sink. Yes. Arasta is another one. I have seen this pop up in Newton's lists before. In his 75 is kind of a way to play against Delver, which is really interesting. Also being a 3/5 is quite hard to beat, so yeah, this will be really cool. Delighted Halfling, of course, is great in this sort of list because we have so many legendary creatures and effects like Flowering of the White Tree, while still having like a small package of things like Knight to find Wasteland or Karakas. Collector Ouphe obviously still good in a Green Sun shell and can often lead to just sort of I win buttons, which is nice, very similar to Gaddock Teeg, and then Liberator, just also really nice to have, especially against maybe like a Blood Moon deck. Might be a little bit tricky if we don't get to our basics early on, so having Liberator as kind of an out for that is really nice. Solitudes are quite nice as well because for matchups where they are creature-based, cards like Gaddock Teeg or Thalia aren't going to be that relevant, so being able to pitch them to Solitude is really nice, so very cool to see that. Sideboard, nice and clean. One new card is Pick Your Poison. This is a sorcery, kind of like Run Afoul, but instead of being instant speed, you're getting a bit more flexibility at sorcery speed. So each opponent attacking an artifact, an enchantment, a creature. This is going to be pretty key for a lot of matchups. It's not really going to have too many situations where it's not going to be turned online, which is nice. And for a single green is great as well. So pretty happy with the pick alongside forces. And alongside extra removal like Solitude and Path, which, yeah, is pretty cool. The only change I did make was an extra Misty Rainforest over the second Flooded Strand, because I feel like you want to have as many options available for Dryad Arbor, while also having at least, say, one extra white fetch land for the plains. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. A big thank you to That Maverick Joe for the list. Legacy League, play points, nice. A big shout out as well, always, to Card Hoarder for sponsoring the channel and allowing me to rent cards at will. And also MTG Mate. an Australian online MTG seller. Sell and singles. Should be at the Mana Clash, a pretty big event happening in April, the weekend of the 27th, which I believe is Highlander, Modern, Commander, which is nice. Alright, we have a pretty nice opening. So we have turn 1 Acceleration, we have Solitude if we really need it, we have Samwise with Karakas, so pretty happy to keep this. Hey Justrex, thanks for the follow, hope you're well. Okay. Swords. Here we're just going to go for a Savannah and play the Delighted Halfling. Very cool. Do you play Legacy yourself? Do you have like a local group? Push makes me think this is going to be some sort of bug control list. Sentinel's quite nice. I don't mind Sentinel and also Dryad Arbor this turn, just to keep building up my mana. Too expensive to keep the habit up, that's very fair. Especially in this day and age. Cost of living is definitely something around the world we're picking up on. Master. Nice. No attacks, interesting. Another Karakas isn't great. I think he will just be playing the Flower. And then probably just holding this Karakas for now. It's not really doing a whole lot other than holding up swords, but I don't feel that we really need that. But yeah, push into double orc is always a tough one. Green Suns. Okay. Have a quick look at what we have. Nothing too great. Could get another Delighted Halfling and work towards Solitude. But Bug will be a little bit tricky with the amount of main deck creature removal they have. Attacking with everything. Interesting. Guess we block one. Okay. Ping this once. It gets 1 damage put on it. Wow. Okay. I think here I'm probably happy to Solitude pitch. Hitting this Bowmaster. I'm gonna keep the Sam. I have 1 card left. Misty Sadly, I guess that does turn on Samwise, but it is this turn, I believe. Yeah. So we can play this and then probably just pass. But the Orc's going to be a little bit tough at this point. Wasteland. Can't float the mana, so like yeah, there's no point here where I can float the mana for Sam because you go to damage, you lose the mana. So I might as well just allow this to happen, and then get it back with Sam. Hardcast Force. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I just go wide again. Yeah. Tough. What do I like in this matchup? Bug. Like, I'm not a big fan of the... Like, Sentinels aren't great. Really depends on the flowers coming down. This is definitely interesting. I do like the Ramunap because they're playing Wasteland. The Ouphe and the Liberator can most likely come out. The Teeg can come out. I don't mind the extra Solitudes, just because the game is going quite long. I don't mind the Endurances either, it's just extra creatures. Yeah, definitely a little bit tricky, but I think you have to be ready for that sort of thing as well. I might just cut down on the Esper Sentinels. Try to keep the legendary count pretty high. Sadly, the mana here just isn't going to work. Okay. Pretty happy with this. Yeah, Sentinel does rely quite heavily on other effects, but on the play it's a lot better. Probably should have also bottomed the Wasteland there. Because I am going to start off with Sentinel. Maybe a little bit greedy, but we'll see. Okay. This is actually pretty nice because you get to go attack with Sentinel. And then actually I'm going to go for Wasteland here. They're going to Brainstorm, they're going to Stifle, they're going to Lorien Reveal. Okay. There's a world where the Wasteland is better for us, but I think this makes the Esper Sentinel just that little bit better. Hey Joe, welcome. Okay, just the island. I'm pretty happy to see that. A land here is really what we want to see, and thankfully we did hit it, but I think in general, potentially, it's better to... yeah, like maybe the bottom of a Misty just was a little bit too greedy. But Sentinel being a 2/2 here is pretty good. Doesn't die to Orcish, which is nice. Okay. So we get to draw. Nice. Wasteland's probably the best draw here because I think I just want to keep pressuring with uncounterable threats. As nice as it would be to get the Knight in play, I think here we're just going to Boromir. And then Wasteland on the trop. Did I actually didn't even use... That's on me. That's a mistap. Apologies for that. That's a really rookie mistake. We even talked through this. Yeah. Sorry, I've obviously just tapped it for the top bit. But to be fair, we have like Knight coming down next turn as well. Holding up Bowmaster here. Samwise is pretty sweet. Attack with both. They play an Orc, we can then Samwise back the Esper Sentinel. No blocks. Hey Pigeon. Welcome. Hey Danbro. Yeah, that's just a really rookie error on my part. But you can see, I think against the Beanstalk decks, you really want to go under them with this deck. You could try to go wide, but obviously on the play is a lot better with things like Sentinel and then pumping up the Sentinel. This could be a Murderous Cut. Fatal Push. Creature tokens. You control gain hexproof. And then Bowmaster. AB1, welcome. I would say this is, yeah, very similar to what Maverick is. Okay. So I do have the option here of Wasteland. To force the Orc. Sure. Interesting. So a small thing that I could do here is swords my own Esper Sentinel. They then don't get a token. Then we Solitude the Bowmaster and just attack for 7. So they gain 1, take 7. Or we just get it back and Wasteland them again. I actually like playing out the long game here. Like, you could go for it here with that play, but I kind of like allowing this. Wasteland happens. Then going... Sam. Trigger. Get back Esper. Ooh, Ring Bearer. I always forget what the Ring Bearer does. I think it's creatures... I don't think it actually even has anywhere where it shows what the ring does on the client. Here we go. Can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. There we go. Wow, they're going to force that. maybe a little bit loose. Like maybe, I guess knowing about the Force of Will means that the Sword Solitude plan wouldn't have worked. I think on the draw we will just take out the Sentinels. I'm a little bit weary of Murktide, but I don't think that's where I want to be. I don't mind the extra endurance. Potentially Teeg. Like it only stops our Green Suns, but Green Suns isn't that big of a deal. It stops their forces. It stops Murderous Cut. That's actually probably it. And to be fair, we don't really care about. Yeah, like they're not playing Leyline Binding, they're not playing Prismatic Ending, which is like the big thing against Beans. But this version being Bug, of course, a little bit different. It is just a 2/2 though, so like, there's a world where I want that. Yeah, maybe just like more creatures, potentially with okay, pretty happy with this. A little bit rough against Bowmaster, but there's not much you can do against Bowmaster. Someone Green Sun's Dryad Arbor. So a land off the top would be really nice. It can be tricky, for sure. They chose to shuffle, so here I'm actually happy just to Wasteland my opponent. We have the swords for Murktide, which is nice. We have access to basics now, which is pretty good as well. Like that, yeah, okay, that's their play. Okay. Because of that, they do run Stifle, so I actually am just going to fetch right now. And pass with swords up. I could have played the Forest and then had the fetch for the Samwise, but I think we'll have so many things to do with the Samwise that it'll be fine. Interesting, they went for a basic island. Honestly, here I just like going for Delighted Halfling. I don't want to play the Thalia into a Orcish. And I'm happy just to keep generating mana. There's the island. And just a pass back, wow. Ooh, Wasteland, that's pretty good. But I don't really want to cast it just yet, which is a little bit greedy because we have access to 3 mana here. But honestly, I kind of like just playing the flowers. I love that this is uncounterable through Delighted Halfling, that's really cool. Opponent might be thinking of like Brainstorm here, yeah. Okay, no end step, which is nice. Okay. This feels like Murderous Cut. Which honestly, I feel like Delighted Halfling has done its job in getting this into play, so now we can play our threats a little bit around Orcish Bowmasters. A fetch land would be sweet, just be able to play the fetch land. Wouldn't mind another basic either. Okay. I think because of this, we're just playing the Thalia out. Ooh, this could be Witherbloom command, and then like Witherbloom into Orcish. Yeah. Oh, they're gonna mill. Okay. Hey, Sato-san, welcome. Another Thalia isn't great. Potentially here it's time to fatigue. As it's not stopping anything from our end, which is nice. If they go for Murktide, we can Solitude in our turn, probably just pitching the Thalia, and then just getting back the Solitude with Samwise. Okay. Stifle. Okay. In that case, we just swords. Play Savannah. Play Samwise. Just want to do as much as possible with my mana. The Wasteland is this turn. And then we have potentially Night next turn as a big creature. Okay. Fetch most likely means Fatal Push? Sanctuary. Okay. Get back to Savannah and play the Delighted Halfling. This at least keeps a little bit of pressure from coming in, but we do know about the Ponder. Best case is probably Solitude next turn. But they are obviously a force deck with beans. Chose not to shuffle. Okay. Get back Wasteland. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No force. Take them off double black potentially. I believe choosing the ring bearer is not optional. I think you have to do it. Interesting. Tough, and they swing in the air. Rough. Definitely a challenging matchup. The value of their removal is just so good, especially the beans. And we don't really want to bring in something like Force of Vigor. I guess potentially the pick your poison probably should have come in. I think it's a pretty good one to come in. Probably does a lot more than something like Teeg. Pick your poison hitting a few things. Okay. But yeah, pick your poison is pretty good. It hits, like, it does hit Beanstalk, but they've already drawn a card. It does hit Murktide, which is quite nice. Yeah. Maybe I should have respected it a little bit more. I've definitely played Boromir a few times off like Ancient Tomb Lotus Petal, and it's felt really, really strong. Mana. Okay. Oh, I clicked Mulligan, didn't I? That's really tough. Okay. Sorry, my mouse just skipped a little bit. Honestly, I like 3 lands. And I don't mind having an endpoint in Thalia. That's really tough. At least we can cast everything we draw into. Sadly, yeah, I guess you can't really have like a undo on your mulligans, because then you can check and then go back. Okay. Happy to match your Delver. Okay. Sometimes I do like the Wasteland, but I think I'm just so down on resources that Wasteland as a land that taps for 1 is just so good for me. Yeah, honestly, even that 6 against Delver can be tough. If I drew a land off the top, I'd be happy, but having like 1 land and a few ways to get mana off that land, it doesn't always work out. Bolt. Okay. That's pretty nice. Swords this. Could do it in upkeep to like play around like Force of Vigor. I will Wasteland them. Just because we have so many threats that we can cast off 1 or 2 mana. Ooh, okay. Maybe we can salvage this. Maybe. I think with this Misty, we're just getting another Savannah to kind of overload them with Wasteland targets. But yeah, Boromir is cool. Especially the ability to give indestructibility. Like, Boromir just plays so well around things like Supreme Verdict, potentially. Wow. They're now at 7, so I guess whatever we play... Wow, they're just going to concede that early? Like, we're on a 4, but I get it. Sometimes you just get a little bit flushed. Oh, okay. Maybe they had to go. They did seem a little bit distracted with like how much time they were giving between things, so... Yeah, I think Delver can definitely win from that spot. Like, all they have is gas, and we have a 0 clock, so... sadly, opponent obviously just probably had to be somewhere. But yeah, the Delver matchup I'd find pretty interesting, especially post-board with more removal, especially answers for flyers. It'd be pretty sweet. I think what we'll do is... Wow. I mean, there's so much for Delver. You could essentially bring in all 9, and then potentially take out like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Maybe not all pick your poisons. Maybe even less, like maybe not all endurance. 23 land deck, including Dryad Arbor. But yeah, an abundance, which is nice. I'm definitely between thoughts on Snuff Out, Dismember, Path, Solitude in sideboards. A lot of them have different advantages. Obviously, Snuff Out or Solitude allow you to build out your board while you're dealing with opposing threats. Dismember can kill a Magus, which is really huge. And even little things like Opposition Agent or potentially a Death Shadow or Fiend Artisan, which Snuff Out can't hit. Path is nice. Yeah, Fiery Justice in punishing sideboards I've always really liked. I like that it gains them life as well, so you can tie it with Punishing Fire to return that. I know Get Lost is a card that Connor False has been playing around with in Loam. Some cool cards here, but sadly not a keep. Okay, it's actually a pretty good hand. We're going to keep this and bottom the Outland Liberator. We want to have mana online. Wasteland's always nice. We have acceleration if we want to, like, turn 1, accelerate, turn 2 Thalia and Wasteland. Song always puts me to sleep. There we go. Opponent thinking about their 5. Okay. Wooded foothills. Interesting. I still like that ability to ramp here. Second Green Suns is always nice. Maybe they're a Stifle deck. Maybe they're just playing around Stifle. Tega. Definitely a lot more Stifles around. Tega, I haven't seen too much of recently. Like, I don't think this is depth. I definitely don't think it's going to be Tess. I feel like they would go for a blue land. I know that sometimes they play Tega. If it's a crop rotation deck, we want to play Thalia before we Wasteland. Oh, they're gonna force. Pitching Lorien revealed. I'm gonna go after this. Okay. Interesting. Ah, I guess this could be Rhinos. This could definitely be Rhinos. Which means Boromir is quite good if we can get that online. Okay, so they're playing around Wasteland to some extent. Thalia, Heretic Cathar would be sweet. 2 mana. Nothing great to get at 2 mana. Sadly, no choke this time for the leyline, correct. But we are just getting close to like a hardcast Solitude, which is nice. Okay. Really looking for a white 3-drop. No. Honestly, I think here we just want to go for a Knight of the Reliquary. That can be a 5/5. Could have also gone for Questing Beast, but I think Knight here is pretty strong. Next turn I have double Wasteland while also having open the Solitude. Interesting. I'm going to start off with the Wasteland. Obviously no great attacks if they have Violent Outburst. Rhinos. Solitudes are pretty solid, just because they give you an out if they have an early Rhino, and they give you an out with just a Solitude if you get to 5 mana. Okay. Nothing too out of the blue. Get a Solitude down and then get rid of a land. Could have also done this in upkeep, to be fair. Really just want to take them off as much as possible. Fire Ice is a key card that could take them up, take us off the Solitude, but I think that it's a little bit too far behind, especially in a multi 5. Ouphe can come out. Probably the Sentinels, like especially knowing they're probably on Fury. I like the. I don't like the path, but I do like that it's an answer to a Rhino. Like, you could try to go towards Surgical on the first one. I think they usually play 2. I think they usually play a forest and an island. Because I believe, maybe not. I was going to say the blue for Hydroblast, but of course there are Cascade decks, they wouldn't play Hydroblast. Teeg isn't great. 3/5 body is actually relevant for this. Yeah, I think we might even like just try to go for the have your first one, we'll take the rest. They could be playing Minsk as well, but we have Karakas for that, which is nice. This is very reactive, which I don't like. And having double flower as well is just not really where I want to be. Like, I mean, it does answer Rhinos. You have Rhino 1, Rhino 2, and then the other. Okay. I'm going to put on the Savannah, because then we have access to both basics through a Blood Moon effect. This might just be Island or Forest, then hold up Lorien revealed. Or just, okay, suspend. I guess, yeah, Surgical doesn't get rid of them if they suspend them. It's a small thing. Oh, but Boromir deals with them if they're suspended, which is kind of cool. Boromir always deals with them. One does not simply trample through me. Come on, 3-drop. This is where it's at. Play the Windswept next, just because he gets a plains. Oh, okay. Sadly, no legends in hand or in play, correct. No attacks either in case of Spirit Guide into. They could Fury it, correct, but they'd have to hardcast it, yes. They do play Minsk. It's really the only card that we see here that's too relevant. I feel like they have another like Shardless effect because they fetched for a Jewel. I want to try to get to the ability to cast these Solitudes, but it's not looking like it's going to happen. I do want to thin just a little bit. Kind of cringe saying it, but this is one less planes we can draw into, which is always nice. And sadly, we don't really even have the option of wastelanding them. Because next time we're going to hardcast a Solitude. Yeah, pretty much. I guess if they go early for the pass, I'm not a big fan of the surgicals. I think that's gonna be it. Try to get a Thalia down with flowering. That would be pretty sweet, so it can't be hit by, or at least would be quite hard to hit with something like a Fire Ice or a Fury. Double Boromir. It's kind of cool. But there's no real, like I don't think this is like a winning hand. Really want to have like a turn one play. Okay. Okay, this is actually quite good. Keep this. Bottom of Savannah. Halfling into Flowers, into potentially Samwise, get back the land. Okay. Wasteland would be pretty sweet. At least we have like access to basic island. Double removal spell, Sam to get back to land. Second Samwise is kind of cool. Get back. Flooded Strand. Play Flooded Strand. Ring Bearer. Interesting. Probably just the Delighted Halfling. Might want to start attacking with it if we just start drawing lands and don't need the extra mana. And also Samwise, get back Samwise, which is kind of cool. Very unflavorable, but it is what it is. Nothing to do here. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay. Pretty happy to attack with both here. I could play this Sam to get back to Wasteland, but is that worth it? 2 more time counters on this one. 5 cards in hand. I don't think so, just because this one could trade with a Rhino, that I think having the extra Samwise, which would be a 4-powered creature, is better than getting back the Wasteland. But it's tricky. This is probably a section where it would be cool if this, I guess, this couldn't be a green, like to get Dryad Arbor, because then we wouldn't be able to get the plains, which I'm pretty happy we got. Worst attacking again, especially seeing we have double sword if needed. Hull Breacher. Interesting. Happy to let them block. They don't block. It's pretty huge. Did not expect that to happen. I am happy because if we did get back the Wasteland with Sam and lose a Sam, we would have been in the same position because they would have had the Spirit Guide in response to the Wasteland to cast Violent Outburst. We would just be down a Sam. probably going to path one. And then next turn just attack with Samwise. A little bit unfortunate that they don't have a basic yet and they look to be missing a land drop. That maybe I just want a swords. The issue is if I swords here, they don't really care about being a 10, they probably don't block the Sam. Happy to see what they do. Yeah, they miss a land drop. This is a really awkward part of Path. Okay. Hopefully it's not Brazen Burrower. Bounce on the flower. Play flower. Fetch. Probably get just another Savannah. Play Sam. Which will be a 4-power creature. Get back Sam. Then we're still taking 10. Of trample. Interesting not to attack with all. Like being at 9? There isn't too much I can do. Also, they didn't get, I guess because the path, yeah, the path didn't work. That's right. Oh. No great attacks. Can I try to double block one? I don't think we're gonna get a chance to actually attack with the looting, but I do like the thought of it. I think here we just have to try to get a like all creatures off the board. Here, back here, back here. At least we're kept with a creature. Okay. Knight's kind of cool. One, two. Knight will be a 4/4. Oh, 5/5, sorry. Flooded Strand, Wasteland. Ah, and then the flowering, of course. Okay. So now they do have the Brazen online. It's like Solitude is probably the best draw. Okay. I don't think we attack here. Could attack for lethal. But then if they have a Rhino, like worst case is they probably have Rhinos. I think I actually just like passing. Maybe not. Maybe they would have. I feel like even if they had Violent Outburst, they would wait till my end step to see if they wanted to cast the Brazen for some reason, if that was better. So I think I actually am just going to take the turn here. See what they do in end step. Yeah, I think Upkeep Waste is going to be the play. Okay, so they play this. We play Solitude. We hit the Brazen. And then we take them off green. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Skin of our teeth. For sure. Skin of our teeth. No. Really want to have 2 mana. Okay, not the worst. Keep bottom the Dryad Arbor. We have access to basics. We have access to Dryad Arbor if we really want it. Saga. We have the Wasteland for that, which is key. Okay. Just Mountain Welder, potentially? This is a Painter? Okay. I don't think game mod that have like a Blood Moon effect, so I'm pretty happy here just to go for access to more colors. Chalice one I wouldn't care about. Soul-Guide Lantern, a little bit annoying, but not the worst. Hey Kami, that's a great point. I totally forgot that of course is something that we could achieve. That's actually, yeah, really cool to know about. I kind of like just Thalia here. It could still have an effect on this game. It means if they have a Fable, they need an extra mana. Okay. Teeg. I think Knight here is a 4/4 is just the best plan. They probably get back Soul Guide here. Fable's okay. So this does... Okay, so they can exile. Interesting. See if they use this. Because then if they do, we can then reset it with Knight. Interesting. I guess we take the free land. And then Wasteland in upkeep. This is always scary with the welder. Spirit Guide, Pyroclasm. Okay. It's very good for us. Engineer. Okay, that's pretty good for them. Phyrexian Dragon, potentially. Dragon Engine? Yeah. Interesting. Happy to block. Yeah, Chaos Devourer here would be very cool. Swords is really nice. It's a 2/2 with double strike. I guess we get to attack him with the Ramunap. Hold back the Knight for now. You may discard your hand, draw 3. Sure. What's this? They are playing Khan, so I will actually play the Gaddock Teeg here. Another painter, 1 card left. Okay. It's a really tough spot. Boromir. Interesting. I probably don't even want to play a land first. Should have Wastelanded before damage. Just misclicked. This is fine. And I think he was going to go with the Boromir. I could have actually Samwised back, but I think this is fine. Ah. There isn't a grindstone just yet. They can start copying things, like they can copy the engineer. So if they have a land, they actually just have it. Because they can... Oh, it's 1 to copy, okay. I guess if they have a soul land, it gets there as well. I guess Solitude gets there as well. Has to be removal this turn. Karakas. That would be very cool if you could do that with Samwise for sure. Damn. don't think there's anything I can do to stop it. There's no way to put like cards back into my library. Yeah. Tough. I like the Solitudes. I like the Force of Vigors. I don't mind the Surgicals. I think they're kind of like a maybe pile. A little bit too slow for these. Ramunap's fine, but I think in this matchup, Samwise is just the Ramunap. The King can go, Teeg can go. Sentinel's I'd rather the Thalia than Sentinel. Everything else is pretty sweet. I mean, Path is just a good pickup typically. There's a world where Endurance is better than Surgical as it's just a threat. And if they're playing Khan, they probably have both pieces in the sideboard as well. So Surgical doesn't always just turn off everything. I don't mind that. Being a 3/4 body as well is quite cool. And yeah, I'm not a big fan of... And Pick Your Poison's kind of cool. So many cards. Maybe not all Endurances. I'm actually going to take out the Thalias. There we go. Okay. Samwise, Karakas is Samwise, and Boromir to get max bonus. I should really look into what Samwise actually does. I don't think we're going for Dryad Arbor here, just in case we want the Force of Vigor. Can have that. Now if we Green Suns for the Delighted Halfling, we can just hardcast Force of Vigor next turn, in and step on both Saga and the token. That's pretty cool. It's a nice 2-for-1. I guess 1-for-1. Okay. We care about that a little bit, but not too much. We do still have a lot of outs. Yeah, nice. Liberator, perfect. Torpor Orb. Okay. Interesting. Means our Solitude's kind of free. Okay. I wonder, is there a way that I can pass the Solitude No, I was trying to think of a way to like save it. I think we have to deal with the Fury via a white source. And so I probably just want to take out the the Blood Moon here. I pitched a Bolt. I think just to have all my mana, we just want to take out the Blood Moon here. Oh, that's pretty cool. Can go like this. Play the flower. Each opponent sacks an artifact. And then probably just Swords the Fury here. That's fine. Hopefully we can Solitude that land next turn. Oh, sorry, that Goblin. I think we cast the Knight here. Get rid of a land and the dragon. Did they attack? They do attack. Probably, maybe just get the treasure, but I'm definitely blocking with the halfling here. Needle. Didn't name Wasteland, that's interesting. Boromir. I think you were just going to hold up Endurance, but also Solitude. I could have attacked there, to be fair, and seen if they block. We'll see. I guess the contacts will be 5/5s. 2, 3, 4. Oh, maybe not. Honestly, here, I just like endurancing myself to put these back. And then seeing what we can do off the top. Planes, okay. That does turn off the reflections, which is nice. No great attacks. I do like that now Outland Liberator is another target. The Fable's pretty good. Oof, nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. These two. Easy block. Well, the Fable's pretty good. I think we're just getting Windswept Heath. And getting aggressive. Megas as well. I wonder if they'll board out some, if there is a game 3, if they'll board out some Blood Moon effects. They have 1 card left. So what can they get back? Dragon Engine. I guess I should have played the Thalia first. I didn't even think about that. Oh, I didn't even attack. Oh. Tough. Pretty huge. It's pretty huge. I think for leagues, they're more than fine. I think there's a lot of play to them. It's tough because they're obviously open to a lot of the weaknesses that Maverick has. Ooh. Okay. Is there a world where I can just take out... I shouldn't have got rid of the forest thinking about it, like, obviously. It means we can't attack with this. It's pretty rough. But they do still have the welder. Oh, we actually can't attack with the knight now because we don't have double forest. This can't make green. That's a huge... Yeah, that's a big misplay. Alright. That's, yeah, really stupid. Especially knowing about the Karakas, like that's 3 white sources. Now, is there a world where I'm supposed to actually go after everything here? Wasteland, the Great Furnace, take them off the grindstone, and also this? I think so. Yeah. Small things definitely add up, like not attacking the previous turn, not getting the extra green there. All good, like just lessons of just like before you do something, think. Yeah, and then just replay. Damn. Tough. Really tough. But yeah, mana's a huge consideration. I just always think of like, what did you side in? Do you have double pip spells? Really tough. Triple green suns. It's tough as well because you have to go forest into green. Nah, I think this answer's just a little bit too all over the place. This is much better. We're gonna keep this. I think it's the green suns. I was going to go Delighted Halfling into Boromir potentially. Karakas up, Wasteland. Got some cool things to do. Opponent's gone to 3 cards. That's a tough one. I assume there might be a combo deck, like LED Echo still gets there. Can you imagine if the 4 is like Ancient Tomb, Spirit Guide, Mind Goblin, Muxus? Okay, good. Honestly, we're just going to try to end this game as soon as possible, so going for Questing Beast here allows us to attack for 7, plus also hold up Solitude. That's based. Yeah, so many misplays in that Painter game. Good to move on though. Obviously we'll go back and have a look at that, but just like huge errors on my part. Definitely time warped like the time we didn't attack. Having to like keep up the night for the green source, not playing the Thalia pre-combat, all things that matter. Two Vigilance is very cool. I wonder if they even show anything more, unless they have like a really busted turn. Yeah. Okay. Thalia's removal. I don't mind some number of force. Probably these two. I don't want to sideboard too much. But I assume if they're either on... Thankfully the sideboarding for both those are pretty similar, like maybe the extra force. Sometimes Teeg against like Pyrokinesis, but we do have the flower, which is cool. Solitude's huge, so we're going to keep this. Also the basics are quite nice. Did I just click Mulligan? I did, didn't I? That's happened twice tonight. Just gotta laugh it off. We'll keep this. I might even keep the Dryad Arbor for the Force of Vigor, and therefore bottom the Savannah. Then we go Plains into Esper Sentinel, Windswept into Sam. Yeah. Keep bottom this. If they cast a Chrome Mox, I'm just going to hit it. I really don't want them getting value off turn 1. Spirit Guide, City of Traders. Oh, okay, that's fine. I probably don't even need to play. Like, I could force here, but I don't want them having access to 2 mana next turn, so I'm just going to untap and play the Sentinel. Like, if they go land Chrome Mox, I can hit the Chrome Mox and the Blood Moon. Oh my gosh, opponent. See, just like Patience here as well, really helping us, because now we just get to force both, and we draw a card. Okay. Play Halfling. There's a world where they don't want to... I was going to say play it mounted in case they have like Simian Spirit Guide Muxus as the last cards. Rabble, that's fine. They have 1 card left. A little bit scary, like being pretty close to Muxus, also having like Ringleader online, etc., but keeping them off as much as possible. That's where I want to be. Samwise, returning Samwise is pretty sweet. I can actually fetch up Dryad Arbor here and get it. I don't think it's worth it. Dryad Arbor. Actually, I can't because I pitched it. That's all good. I'm going to get back that land because it means we could hardcast Solitude next turn. Ringbearer, interesting. Probably the Sentinel, to be fair. Actually, it's creatures with less. With greater, cool. There we go, that's a great draw. I should have also... Probably, yeah, I could have also Wastelanded and then Sammed to get the extra trigger to discard the Windswept to draw into a land, but here we are. Hey Brad, at least I believe it's Brad. I was thinking about like keeping Sam back, but I kind of like Wasteland here in upkeep and then end step get it back, or at least block with the Samwise to see if they attack with the Rebel. Try to keep them off that other Ancient Tomb. Did it exile a Spirit Guide? I assume they meant to cast it as a 2/2. There we go, okay. Nice. Keep this one. Get back the Wasteland. Same Ringbearer. Block here, block here. Attack first. Ah, I could have gotten back Sam. That's very true. I should have. It's a pretty good draw. Yeah, getting back the other Sam was much better. They probably just keep both back. No, they attack with the bat. Okay. I would assume you keep both back. So you're currently not. Okay, they're gonna actually get aggressive. Interesting. Question is, do I want to spend a swords on the Goblin token? That answer is probably draw first. Okay, happy to discard that. I'm actually happy for them to trade, and then we have the Liberator next turn, and then hold up swords for an actual threat. Yeah. I won't play the land just yet. If I really need it next turn, I can play it. If not, I can discard it to Sentinel. Yeah, no blocks. Maybe they feel like if they block and trade, they're in a position where they're just not going to win, but maybe if they hold the Goblin, they could get there. No. Go 3-2. I really felt like there was a third game in that painter, and I really just flopped it a little bit. Unfortunately, which I apologize for. Definitely not my best Magic. We get some cool stuff. Deck was sweet. There was some interesting cards, like King didn't really come up. Like it's nice to be able to tutor for a Lord effect. It's a shame that it's like 5 mana to get a 1/1, which I guess is a 2/2, and it grows itself. But the sack and the token effect isn't really relatable to this deck. What am I trying to say? It's not relevant. There we go. Typically, like I think if you have this in play and you're making tokens and you're doing pretty well, that like potentially you need to like play around a verdict effect to be able to keep your threats in tokens. But the core of the deck I did really like. Like the flowering's pretty sweet. The Sentinel's got it showing up a little bit tonight, but it's tough because they are powerful, but really only with flowering. They did draw a few cards, but they also got dunked on pretty hard by Orcish, which did show up a few times. I do like with the ring, you can attack with them, which is kind of cool. The ring didn't come up where it actually turns on Bowmaster for like a second time as well, because I don't believe it's a May. Actually, no, it is a May. Samwise was cool. I think Samwise in like a Vile version would be pretty sweet. This version's a little bit different to Side of Sands in that we're playing like a Green Sun shell to have that kind of Maverick appeal. But potentially there's a world where Vile and just going all in on the Legends instead of like a half and half could be pretty cool. Boromir didn't come up as much as I thought it would, but it's only 5 games. But it was really cool to get him into play. Thalia definitely came up, which is nice. Halfling's sweet in this version because it's pretty build around, but with a Blood Moon effect in play, it doesn't cast Liberator and it doesn't cast Force of Vigor. So potentially you want like a Noble Hierarch as like a 5th dork to like be able to Green Suns for potentially if you are thinking of a Blood Moon effect coming down. But overall pretty sweet. Sad this didn't come up either. I would have really liked to have seen this come up. Hey Jittery, welcome. That's me. That's me for the night. A huge thank you to Joe for the list. Really appreciate it. And your thoughts as well on Maverick at its current time. Definitely in a bit of a rut, but there are obviously players out there doing very well with it, which is awesome. And to be fair, I haven't had bad results either, but it definitely isn't a deck that's like making top 8 every weekend of these challenges and you know doing well in every single prelim. So one day we will get there. But until then, if you guys want to find me, you can find me on Twitter, my Discord, YouTube. I'm gonna head to bed. Thank you again. There were cool games. There were some really cool games in there, so I really enjoyed that. And always nice to finish positive as well. So not too bad. But hey, enjoy your weeks. I'll be back probably Sunday evening. Thanks.